Whenever you take a picture.
Randy, another chair. Just take one of these chairs here. Oh, all right. That's great. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. I don't know how to deal with all this. I'm waiting to see the yellow box around each of your heads to make this a true service. Oh my gosh. We praise your Adonai, our God, guiding spirit of the universe, who gave us life and kept us safe and helped us to reach this outstanding moment in our lives. We made it through 15 months. Well done, everyone. Well done. And for those of you joining us from your home, the volume may need to be adjusted in your home, so feel free to do up the volume, and we are so blessed to be together. Oh my gosh. So last time we were here, there was someone to the left of me that was different. And we are so blessed to have with us Cantor Leah Shafritz, and her husband Abram is with us as well. And she came in last week, but this was yesterday was her first official day, and of course her stuff hasn't gone here. They have another week till they get their stuff, so it's one of those wonderful situations. But I have to say, your energy already is wonderful, and you're taking it with stride. And it's so good to have you with us, Cantor. Yay! So how should we begin, Cantor? What do you think?
Little music?
Little music. That's a good idea.
We are on page 13. do hope you will sing along with me.
Yeah, you don't have to mute. It's not like we're on Zoom, everyone. You get to sing now. We all get to sing. It's wonderful.
So
and
nice
you at
to
home
hear
get to sing too.
voices.
Everyone gets
I
to
want to
sing.
hear more.
That's right. There you go.
So on Shabbat, we traditionally welcome the angels into our midst with these words, Shalom Aleichem, on page 14. This one might be a little bit new, but the good news is that it repeats itself. The melody repeats, and I hope that once you feel comfortable and you pick it up, that you'll sing along with me. It's one of my favorite melodies. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Minalech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I hear some singing already. That's great. Boachem Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Minalech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Minalech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzivchem Leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Minalech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yalalai, 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 HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We continue the lighting of the Shabbat candles on page 19. I'd like to call upon our new cantor and her husband to lead us. Page 19.
This is all new. In every beginning, in every beginning there is darkness. The darkness of chaos seems eternal, yet form emerges. Light dawns and life is born. In the beginning, the Most High made heaven and earth. In every beginning there is darkness. The darkness of ignorance which smothers human dignity. The darkness of fear which chokes the creative will. The darkness of tyranny which stifles freedom. The Most High said, "Let there be light." The Sabbath candles celebrate the divine power that makes for life and light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlikneh, le'adlikneh, Blessed is the eternal power that inspires our people to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Blessed is the source of life and light. May we be blessed with the light of dignity, creation, and freedom. May we be blessed with a life of joy, love, and peace.
Welcome. We continue on page 15 with Lecha Dodi. Yes, I'm giggling a little. Well, honestly, you interview someone, you really don't know what you're going to get, is all I'm saying. You interview the person on Zoom, and it's kind of like, let's see what we got here. Man, we got a good one, guys. Yeah. Anyway, we continue with Chatzi Kaddish, page 22.
Shemid Kucha, Richu Min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran ve'ama ve'imeru amen.
And refresh your memory. With this siddur that we're using, if you see an arrow pointing up, that tells you if you are able to please rise either physically or spiritually, whichever works for you. See an arrow pointing down that tells you that's a good time to sit down if you choose to. We continue with Baruch Hu as your eyes pass through page 23. Page 25, please join me if you're able. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'arir aravim, v'chokhmah poteach she'arim, u'bitvuna meshana gitim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'misader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakir kirtzono. Torei yom v'layla, oleh or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, ומעביר יום ומאיר לילה, ומבדיר לבין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אלחי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. There was silence, there was chaos, there was a voice. A mind went forth to form worlds. Now order reigns where chaos once held sway.
The law is speaking to all, the law brings on.
The moon follows accustomed paths, constellations their pattern ways.
Sovereign is the will that orders the stars and forces to meet the skies. Sovereign is that will.
Ah
28 on the top. And how unyielding is the will of our people Israel, after the long nights, after the days and years when our ashes blacken the sky. Israel endures, heart still turned to love, soul turning still to life.
So day and night, early and late, we will rejoice in the study of Torah. We will walk by the light and snow. They are our light and the length of our days. Praise is the source of life and love.
I invite us all to take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Another deep breath in. How blessed we are to be here together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam
I see an arrow on page 29. Sorry, Kendra.
Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Ayom Alevavecha Vishiantam Levavecha Vidivartam Bam Vishivtecha Bebeitecha Uvlechtecha Baderech Uvshofmecha Uvkumecha Ushartam Lehot Al Yadecha Vehayu Letotavot Beineinecha Uchtavtam Al Mezuzot Beitecha Uvisharecha Leman Tizkeru V'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'yitem Yerushim Lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeiti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem
You shall love the eternal your God with all your mind, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I, the Eternal, am your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, the Eternal, am your God. We worship the power that unites all the universe into one great harmony. That oneness, however, is not yet. We see imperfection, disorder, and evil all about us. But before our eyes is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. These two we have known in some measure. There's evil enough to break the heart, good enough to exalt the soul. Our people has experienced untold suffering and wondrous redemptions. We await a redemption more lasting and more splendid than any of the past. When will redemption come?
When we master the violence that fills our heart.
When we look upon others as we'd have them look upon us.
When we grant to every person the right to be thinking for ourselves.
Once we were in bondage, then we were free. In this first liberation, our people saw revealed the power of the Most High. They perceived that God's presence redeems time and event from the hands of tyrants. We too acclaim the power that makes for freedom. We sing the song that celebrates our deliverance from Egypt and all bondage. I can't think of a more appropriate prayer for us to sing on the Shabbat of July 4th for us, of Independence Day. We'll talk more about this a little bit later. But I think this is a very important Independence Day for us. And I think we need to consider what this country really is about and what it was founded on. And with that, let's continue with Micha Malcha. Page 34. Up to life renewed. May night spread over us a shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, a blessing of rest. There will come a time where morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish. There will come a day of happiness, of contentment and peace. Praise be the source of joy within us, for the night and its rest, for the promise of peace. Page 35 with Vishambu.
Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. והנה Israel, oti le'olam, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat
We continue now the central portion of our worship with our tefillah, beginning with our Vot prayer on pages 36 and following. You know the drill. Page 40 in English, we join together. The holiness of this day is not for this day alone. We must make it overflow into all our minutes, to hallow our weekdays from these sacred moments, hour by hour, to make the world a sanctuary where every human soul may be at home. Oh, may the awe we feel at times, the miracle of one another, united in prayer, be with us tomorrow. Keep tenderness in our words, our touch, and our look. Praise be the world of power within it that makes for holiness. Page 43. We give thanks for the return of our people to Zion. Remembering the pain of her birth, we pray that now and always she may have peace and safety. We give thanks for the freedom in this land. We pray for the peoples of every continent. May their highest hopes be made real, the noblest visions fulfilled.
Praise be to strength and love that makes every land and people grow toward justice and right.
Page 45. We live in two worlds, the one that is and the one that might be. Nothing is ordained for us, neither delight nor defeat, neither peace nor war. Life flows, must freely choose. We can, if we will, change the world that is into the world that may come to be. As you're taught from of old, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from deceitful speech.
Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it.
Be of the disciples of Aaron, loving peace and pursuing it.
Loving all human beings and bringing them to the Torah.
The whole Torah exists only to bring peace, as it is written.
Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
Let justice dwell in the wilderness, righteousness in the fruitful field.
For righteousness shall lead to peace. It shall bring quietness and confidence forever.
Then all shall sit under their vines and under their fig trees.
And none shall make them afraid.
So I invite you to close your siddur for a moment. It's our custom on a Kabbalat Shabbat to refresh your memory. Just have a Devar Torah, a little word of Torah as we enter into our silent reflection. Our Parsha this Shabbat is a fabulous Parsha. It's Pinchas, so much in Pinchas. In the book of Numbers, there's a quote in here. And God says to Moses, ascend these heights of the Avarim and view the land that I have given to the Israelite people. When you have seen it, you too shall be gathered to your kin, just as your brother Aaron was. Well, there's good news and bad news. Moses, here's the place, here's the very place that you get to, all the people get to go to, except for you. You don't get to go. You just got to stand on kind of that hill looking at everyone going in. One can only imagine the disappointment Moses had on one level, right? I created this. I got the people here, man. Come on. Why can't I go in? So I've always thought on July 4th, what about our forefathers and mothers? What country do they really want for us? Well, I have my theories. A bunch of white guys who, let's just say, have their points of view that many of us probably would not agree with today. But I think about, what is the country they would want to see? Is it now? Is this the country we had before us? Is this what they would want? I would like to believe that our forefathers and mothers had a dream that this country would be the best it could be, and that every human being in the end would feel a part of the country, would feel included. And that's not the country we have before us, my friends. So sorry to bring this up, but the divisiveness, the divide in our country, the way East San Jose is treated differently than every other part of San Jose, the fact that we have institutionalized racism in our country and it's always been that way, the way Asians have been treated most recently, but it's always been this way, the way blacks and brown, just look at the BIPOC population. We look at even the vaccines and who has access to them and who doesn't. This is not the country our forefathers and foremothers dreamed. They wanted a country better than what even they had. I know it. And you know what? I'm going to choose to believe that. Because I think this is a Shabbat for us to consider our role in all this. Are we going to be bystanders and let this keep happening? Or are we going to be actively involved? And it begins, each of us, with how we treat the other. So we see someone who's like on the periphery, let's bring them in. If we have a child or grandchild that says to us, I'm kind of debating my gender, my sexuality, we say, I'm here for you. Bring it on. But it's time we change the energy. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of a government, period, and waiting them to make the change. It's up to us. This country's the people. We're the people. We can make this happen. So I think about Moses, overlooking the dream on some level, but also thinking, you know what, I did my role here. I'm good with this. Because the pressure to go into this land and to create something, oh my gosh, I'll leave that to Joshua. I did my job. Forefathers, the foremothers did their job. We can judge that another time and how they did it. But it's on us now, not on them. Not on the country that it was before, but on them. This is about us moving forward. So invite us in these moments of reflection to not look at what others are doing, but to look at what I am doing, what you are doing, or not doing. And how can we change that just a little bit maybe treating someone who we know we haven't treated well because of a prejudice within us. But it's time for us to really think about the prejudice we have within us and to be done with us. So when I think of July 4th, I want to just tell you there's a group of Americans that are not going to be celebrating with us. And those are indigenous people, because for them, July 4th was not Independence Day. It was a different kind of day for them. So I'm going to be thinking about a lot of different people this July 4th. And I'm going to celebrate because I think this country is awesome. And I think this country can do this. We can do this. We can make the changes necessary for everyone to feel included. So with that, I invite us to take a deep breath in, feeling that sense of freedom. Exhaling out the burden of that, but breathing back in that sense of commitment and that sense that we can together make a huge change in San Jose. I hope 1 year from now we can say that our city is a little bit less racist than it was, and a little bit more loving than it was the year before. And with that, we pause for silent reflection. So we now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. That healing may be a physical one, a mental one, or a spiritual one. On this Shabbat, we think of Sandra Adams, Sam Menendez, Chana Bat Miriam, Eliana Bat Chana, Ivan Aronson, Bob Bell, Robert Berg, Mort Berlant, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Sarah Beinstock, Sandy Beinstock, Rich Burns, Esther Burton, Bob Kant, Dr. Edward Kahn, Nicole Chapman, Chuchi, Lori Vensky, Carolyn Franklin, Barbara Fiedman, Jason Fishoff, Holly Fugit, Lori Gann, Mandy Gillis, Harry Glad, Mary Gold, Ted Guglin, Rosie Gurman, Courtney Hansen, Linda Harris, Dr. Gary Height, Mimi Jones, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Liatzvia Batliba Elchanan, Carol Lerner, Shirley Lerner, Litia Leos, Bobby Lopman, Austin Lucero, Janice Lucero, Eva Misley, Vivian Cooper Moore, Gunther Myberg, Brad Parkins, Stephanie Rasmussen, Carol Ross, Linda Rogers, Ben Rubin, Marilyn Rudy, Dolores Sams Hoy, Gary Sanders, Laura Sanders, Malachi Sarensen, Meyer Shaddix, Donna Shine, Sybil Summer, Roberta, Donna Thyman, Vam Tai Train, Gina Thrower, Wendy Oakham-Wagle, Teresa Walsh, Jeannie Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Sue Witten, Sherman Wong, Brandon Yarkin, Madison Zales, and everyone who is suffering from coronavirus. I invite you, if you'd like to add another name, to please raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Meredith Burnham, Diane Fan.
Wish upon all those we mentioned, those who are unnamed, but refuah shlema, speedy complete recovery, as we join together praying for their health, their better health, on page 101 with Debbie Freeman's Mishaber.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Lana Smith, and on behalf of Temple Emanu-El's Board of Trustees, I am beyond thrilled to welcome you to our first in-person patio Kabbalat Shabbat of the season and our first in-person service since the COVID epidemic began. I am also beyond thrilled to welcome Leah Shafritz to her first service with us as our new cantor. And now for the announcements. On Tuesday, Zoom in with the rabbi for his weekly chat at noon. And Thursday, July 8th at noon, is our next, now monthly, film discussion, which will stay on Zoom. This week, we will be discussing the film Concrete Cowboy, which can be found on Netflix. Next Shabbat, and through the first Shabbat of September, join us for another live in-person Kabbalat Shabbat. Next Shabbat, our limit is 55 people. So please sign up right away. Again, if you miss the in-person sign-up, the service will be streamed for you to enjoy from home. Now, Oliver asked me to add this. There are 2 registration forms. One of them is for if you're coming here, if you want to come here in body. If you're going to come here in spirit via streaming, there is a different form for you to register. So I leave it to you to figure this one out. This week, the JFS Backpack Drive began. You can either pick up a tag here at services or visit the link from our website where you can find backpack requests to fulfill. Items can be dropped off at the JFS office or in specially marked bins at the Levy campus. Looking ahead, save the date for in-person Shabarbecue on August 6th. It will also have a limit of 75 people, so look for the sign up to come online in the next couple of weeks. Wishing you a happy 4th of July and Shabbat Shalom.
Well done.
Thank you.
I don't think anyone's been so excited as we have for announcements even. This is just fabulous. Mort's not here, so I can't know Jim if he has an extra announcement. So with that, we'll continue with Elenu on page 106. Come to the moment in our service we think about members of our family and community who've died recently or in years past. Upon hearing the name of your loved one, if you choose to invite you to stand as a sign of your love and grief for that person, and to remain standing to all the names that our yahrzeit list have been recited, then together we will all rise. On this Shabbat, we are most mindful of those that are grieving the Shiva, the first week of mourning for Roberta Stivelman Newman, dear auntie of Lori Rush. We also think of those who perished in Miami Beach at Surfside this past week. Actually, it's been a little bit over a week ago, but we are so much thinking about all those families that are going through terrible suffering, waiting to find out what's happened to their loved one. We also think of those that are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Betty Rossman, Stanley Rosen, and Charles Green. As well, we think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first-year mourning for Leon Averick, Robert Baker, Colleen Anderson Berkowitz, Tony Berliner, Roy Robert Creech, Bill Davenport, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Bob Hirsch, Rita Kane, Selma Karcham, Janet Katz, Kevin Krieger, Hal Lax, Father Bill Leninger, Marion Suni Levin, Michal Lubin, Michael Meltzer, Manny Migdal, Patricia Orozco, Arlene Ravel, David Reiser, Steve Reese, Cami Resnick, Edith Robinson, Steve Rosenthal, Lois Rosette, Boris Supak, B. Chandler Shaw, Kit Snyder, Craig Stiller, Joel Strauss, Gunther Vogler, Carol Wachtenheim, Marty Weisenblatt, Henry Wild Sr., Millie Wolfson. We also think of the following yard sites to observe on this Shabbat as we think of Gary Ackman, Arlene Albert, Gerald Benson, Horace Black, Judy Blake, Ruth Cohen, Rebecca Decker, Edwin Delman, Hilda Doron, Marie Edwards, Stanford Fox, Minnie Frederick, Harry Fredkin, Leon Garris, Michael Gilden, Vivian Green, Eric Hansen, Elaine Herzog, Abraham Hirsch, Miriam Hunter, Bertha Jacobs, Esther Coves, Ruth K. Leiter, Martha Levine, Helen McDougall, Dorothy Michelle, Stephanie Newhouse, Barry Nydick, Harry Popkin, Aaron Ress, Ernesto Sokolnek, Dorothy Siegel, David Schleifer, Colleen Sobolov, Carrie Saab, Morris Suntop, Sarah Weisfeld, Nancy Wright, Philip Sabinski. Zichronam Libracha, may all the memories of our loved ones endure as a blessing as we now rise to recite together the ancient words of our mourner's Kaddish on page 110. Yitkadav Yitkadash Shmei Rabba Ve'almad Yivrach Yirutei Gamlich Malchutei V'chayechon of Yom Echon Chayei B'chor Beit Yisrael V'agalav Uzman Karev Yivru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Marmei Almaya Yitbarach V'gishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitroman V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yithaleh V'yithalal Shmei V'kudshah V'yichur Le'olam Yikor Berchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Da'milan V'yalma V'yivru Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba Mishamaya V'chayim Aleinu V'akol Yisrael Yivru Amen. V'sei Shalom V'mromav V'yasei Shalom Aleinu V'akol Yisrael V'akol Yoshvei Tevel V'yivru Amen. With the source of peace, send peace to all who mourn, comfort to those who grieve on us, wherever they may be, as we say together. Amen. Please be seated. So, Ken, I mean, it is the Shabbos of July 4th. Let's close. I mean, I hope it's a good closing song.
I think so, and as you get to know me a little bit more, we spend more holidays together, Jewish holidays or secular holidays. You'll find that I like to include some tunes appropriate for that holiday in our Shabbat service, usually around Michamocha.
You know what goes with everything now? Adon Olam. It goes with everything.
It does go with quite a lot.
It goes with everything.
This one's pretty good. You have to squish a couple words in
I'm
here,
excited.
but it works. I think you'll recognize this one. Adon Olam is on page 113, and I actually probably want those words too.
Oh yeah. I had a classmate that did Adon Olam to Amazing Grace. It worked.
That's not what we're doing today.
But we're not doing that.
Adon Olam Hashem Allah Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Ein Nasa B'Chesro Kol Azai Melech Shelo Nikra Le'acharik Yiflotako Levado Yimlo Plura Lehu Haya Lehu Hoven Lehu Yehet Yifara Lehu Echad Le'in Sheni Lehamshilo Le'achbira Veli Reshit Veli Tachlit Velo Ha'oz Ve'Ha'nisra Lehu Eli Mechai Goli V'tzorchem Li Me'etzara Lehu Nisi Umanus Li Ve'Nsi Ve'yom Hekra Ve'yado Avki Druchi Ve'ti Shan Ve'ahira Ve'im Ruchi Gevi Ati Adonai Li Elohim.
That was awesome. That was awesome. awesome. Wow. So, as we're easing into all this, we decided we're going to hold off on onegs really to the end of the month. So we're going to give it a couple more Shabbatot, but we are going to do Kiddush tonight. So, this will be a unique Kiddush. Stephanie's getting this stuff now. We'll be passing out each of you a little shot of grape juice in its own cup. So you have to take off the top of it. And be careful as you open it. God knows if it's going to work. What? Sure. We have to get the kind without the wafer. Can you believe that? Isn't that hilarious? And it works. Isn't it cute? Yeah. That would have been actually awesome. That, you know, but you could do that. You could do more than a run on that. Yeah. That's it's so funny that it goes with everything. I actually like that. That was awesome. That was really cool. I gotta check that out. That's cool. Yeah, I'll take one of those. I'll take one of those shots too. It's one of the spirituals. Yeah, it's one. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if this was espresso? I like that. This group, no.
You ready for Kiddush?
Okay, we're ready. I think you all ready? Let's lift it up, baby.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, boreinu b'riat v'afem. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'rotzavonu, v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahavo u'vratzon hivtilanu, zikaron le'maaseh bereishit, ki hu yom tefillah le'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tzilat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'chavta ve'otanu ki dashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'graso hichaltanu baruch
I started to think about how many of those we'd need to fill this Kiddush.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. You need all of them. You can do. That's really sweet.
Yeah, we should do a fill line.
Fabulous. What? We have a winner. So, a toast to our new cantor. And to our search committee. Well done, search committee. Those a lot of you are here tonight. Well done. Okay, so we could schmooze only a little bit, and then you get the hell out. That's how it works. That's how it works, okay? That's it, yeah. Yes! Is it over?
I give that 1 second.
give us a little. We're going to kind of the next few. Not tonight. So we cut it into Schmitz. Now it's cold. His guitar. He's here. Ruby.
Thank you so much.
That's a Ruby.
Nice to meet you in person,
Good tall young lady.
All the bar about mitzvah kids are followers of
Shabbat shalom. Oh, well, it was so nice that we weren't baking the other day. Yeah.
I'd love to continue the fire. Figure out how.
I was just comfortable between like 60 and 70 degrees. Outside of that range. Where'd you grow up?